Coming up tonight at 6 on London Live News. Good evening, you're watching London Live News at 6 with James Dickman. Coming up tonight, the leadership race hots up as the deadline has just passed for 20 MPs needing to have backed a candidate for them to stay in the first round, as Rishi Sunak remains the front runner to be the next Prime Minister. Welcome to London's weekend. Over the next hour, we'll bring you up to speed with some of the talking points for the capital over the last 7 days, and we'll look at what's on if you're out and about. Coming up.
I do wonder, what is Mohammed doing now?
There you have it. Let's just move on to some other stories from the capital today. Heathrow Airport is limited. Yeah, it's often about finding the lowest points, the real darkest moments, and trying to mould that into something positive when it comes to these things. And you're a testament to the kind of people that have to do that, I suppose. Daniel, tell us a little bit about your wife as well. You mentioned you kind of came together through this.
Yeah.
Well, finally, Simon, what would be your advice to any viewers who are struggling at the moment, who are confused and feeling restrained about these new restrictions, who just want to get away in the summer?
Look, if you can possibly get away,
I'll be doing a good job.
John, politics isn't a business that does too well with sentimentality. There's almost something a bit poetic about Kim carrying on her sister's legacy in the very same seat.
Yeah.
Do wherever we can to help England win.
What was it like for you, particularly at the peak of your career, when you were playing in Ashes tournaments for England and travelling around the world?
Well,
We've got a lovely group of lads. We've got a lot of talent in the England team. But how important is it that we change that narrative, that we're the nearly men and we win a World Cup? What lessons have we learnt?
Well,
His former advisor, Dominic Cummings, said yesterday that the Prime Minister had lied and was warned about the party by staff. Well, the leader of the opposition questioned Mr Johnson over the seemingly convoluted string of details that surround the scandal.
The ketchup in the fridge or in the cupboard?
Oh, cupboard.
OK. What fancy dress outfit would you wear if you were to go to a party tomorrow?
It would be... That's a very good one. I would potentially go as a soldier.
Oh, I think outside the box, Aldo. Best day of your life?
I was going to say dress up as a...
Shockable rhythm.
Well, that is also key information, because a lot of people will be scared of something like that, won't they?
Absolutely.
Well, let's get started. Do we have a name for our participant here?
She's Annie, actually.
Great. What gets you out of bed in the morning?
The fact that I'm going to be dead pretty soon.
Good. Keep it light. Tumble dryer or just leave the clothes drying on the rack?
In your playing career, perhaps, when it was more alcohol and substance abuse, more recently when you've become a much-loved pundit on our TV screens, and you've been very open about all this stuff continually. But what do people not understand about when you get to that incredibly low point?
yeah, I mean,
Let's take a look at some of the other stories affecting Londoners today. Millions of workers will begin paying higher national insurance contributions from today as part of a plan to raise billions for the NHS and social care plan. The 1.25 percentage point increase, first announced last autumn, is being introduced despite pressure for it to be put off, given the wider cost of living pressures, with energy, fuel and food bills all rising. It means annual earnings above £9,880 will be liable for 13.25% NI contributions. Now it's time for our weekly look at some of the local papers. Our paper reviewer Matt Withers is here to talk us through some of his picks from this week. We're going to start in South London with a story that's out of perhaps a screwball comedy of some sorts, a robber holding up betting shops, particularly getting to bed at night and things like that. Hearing this research, a lot of people who spend their day sitting in front of a computer or a laptop and then go to bed at night and perhaps end up scrolling on their phones for ages, suddenly hear this and it's a particular worry for them, and it might have the answer to a lot of their questions about why they're not feeling so well.
that's right.
Mauricio Pochettino, currently the manager of Paris Saint-Germain, a potential return to Spurs for him after he's only been sacked for just over a year. Bizarre. It's almost a dictionary definition of the aphorism managerial merry-go-round.
Yeah, it's absolutely...
What happens if, for example, let's give you a scenario,
I'm in Finland on my holiday, or the Galapagos Islands, seeing my long-lost cousins. And it's a greenless country.
Yeah.
And then it turns orange or perhaps red whilst I'm there. What do I do?
Okay, well,
Imagine from life in the Fertile Crescent in Mesopotamia up until the current day right here in London. It's from soup to nuts, from top to bottom, from A to Z, alpha to omega. It's everything, and yet it's nothing.
Trixie, expand on that. Everything.
Well,
So are you inferring that you were kind of forced together and you've made the most of it? Or did you find each other?
No, we chose each other.
Yeah.
We chose each other. You know, I mean,
Right, that is all we got time for this evening. Thank you for watching. Do join us again tomorrow at the very same time. Plenty more on our social media channels, though. Follow us at London Live. But for now, good evening and take care.